Kim here, Abundant Life Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me for a deck unboxing / flip through, because I am going to pair This Might Help. This is the deck we're looking at by Isabella Rotman, 78 card Oracle deck, right? Plus book, with the first edition This Might Hurt Tarot deck by Isabella Rotman. I have had this deck for a long time, and I was super excited when I heard that this was going to be printed mass market. There is an indie edition, from what I understand, of the This Might Help Oracle, but I believe it's like in like blue and white, or white and blue. And I like that this one is full color in this mass market, so you can't really go wrong. It is published by Sterling Ethos. And yeah, let's get into it. Sorry for the glare. I'll do my best to be mindful of the glare. Yeah. Let's see what we've got going on here. All right. It's got this like iridescent kind of shine for the snake, the serpent. Here's the sides. Really nice. And we have here, you open this up. One of my complaints, my big complaints about Sterling Ethos's boxes in the past, like what I think it was the Modern Witch Tarot, was the box. It was like doing too much and not enough at the same time. And it wasn't containing the cards. It was extra box stuff going on. It was like the cards were slipping out. So it's really nice that this is a magnetic closure to keep the deck protected, right? We like that. Look at that. That's really nice. Oh, yeah, I really like that. And even better, I think I saw this online, that the deck is, you know, more of a poker size. It feels really good in the hand. It's 78 cards, not too thick cardstock from what I can see. Like, so that's going to make it easy to shuffle. Let's take a look at the card backs. Sorry for the glare. I'm trying to get it where there's no glare, but let me turn off this one light. See if that helps. I've been struggling with my video recorder lately. It changed and it's still a glare. I don't know what to do about that. Sorry, friends. I'll take pictures at the end and you can see I'll make sure to have the card backs featured. There's a little better without the glare. But it feels really good in the hand. We like that. And I guess the positive of there being a glare and kind of messed up lighting is the folks who try to do counterfeit decks, they'll have a hard time, at least from my video, getting the exact look of the cards. Just saying. So there's like this little piece here to keep the deck in place, so that's good. That's good. So you got that insert there. So we'll set these off to the side. I really like that. And here's the guidebook. Yeah, such a glare. I'm gonna have to complain to the editor, the camera software that I use. They just, you know how they do an update, right? And the update makes things worse. So we have tarot decks, oracle decks, and this oracle. Gives a how to read section. Let's see what else. There's the majors. You can use it as a standalone deck, of course. You can shuffle and ask a question. There's some spreads here. We love a good spread, or 2 or 3. You can use it as a clarifying deck. What else? You can use it to accompany This Might Hurt Tarot, or any tarot deck. So it's designed to work with any deck or a standalone deck, or like I plan to use it with This Might Hurt Tarot. It's got a quick guide to the cards, the majors, the suits here. And then it goes into the cards. And it's got a little image here of the symbol. There's the cute pug, the dog. And it has as a clarifier message for, a quick message here for clarification in your readings. And so, yeah, that's what we've got. And when you go into like the minors, it's the same bit of information, not too much, not too little. Great little guidebook. And yeah, I like it. And it feels good in the hand. Cute too. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to start with the majors. Now let's look at that. So we have the dog, and there's the little pug. Okay, hold on. Magician's candle. And the magician's wand. So we have that here. Like that. And at the end, we'll shuffle the cards to get a good look at the guidebook to see how the interpretations are. You have the veil. I love this High Priestess. I'm so excited about working with the This Might Hurt Tarot. It's been a long time since I've worked with it. I think because it's a first edition indie, I kind of babied it after a while, and I didn't end up getting the mass market. So yeah, but it's such a great reader. It really is. I recall the readings I did, professional readings for myself. It's a really good reading, or like a reading deck. So, for beginners and the seasoned. And it's just so beautiful. The artwork is just divine. The coloration is beautiful too. So we have here the 12-star crown, and there you have it on her head, right? A ram. Okay. Ah, look at that. Such a brilliant idea of what Isabella decided to do here. I really am impressed with the concept. I remember when she was working on the tarot deck, when it was in, being created and getting the funding and all the things for the tarot deck, and how thoughtful she was and very intentional with the artwork and the coloring. Like, she hired like an artist specifically for just the colors that she used in the tarot deck, and I was really impressed by that. And so she's just really thoughtful. Isabella, you're really thoughtful in your take of how you approach your artwork. I'm here for that. They really capture the color, the passion involved here with the lovers, the bow of arrows. The steed, the chariot. The garland around the neck of the lion. So they really capture this, and I just find that so beautiful. I can't wait to see what the guidebook has to say. The lantern, obviously, for card 9. Card 9. Hermit, right? Illumination. You know, see what that's all about. We have here the snake, the Wheel of Fortune. The battered sword in the Justice card. That's interesting. The rope. The rope. And the little bird is here from the original tarot deck. Isn't it interesting? The banner of death. We've got the sun illuminated. Endings, new beginnings. Yeah. The middle path, temperance. So you've got the mountain range and the crown in the back, and you've got this path here, the middle path. You can see that off in the distance there in the traditional. I don't even know if you can get in the tarot, I should say. I love this devil card. It's one of my favorite devil cards. Isabella, one of my favorite devil cards, I have to say. The devil. It's a great devil card. And look at them partying it up. Making, like, kissing and all the things. We've got shackles. All the debauchery happening, right? Shackles. Because they do have shackles. All throughout. There's shackles. The tower, the lightning bolt. I am so happy right now. You ever get excited about a deck's release, and when it finally gets in your hands, you're like, yes, this feels so good. I'm so happy. Okay, there's nudity in this star card. And we've got the ibises. I don't know how to pronounce that. But there they are. Sorry, y'all. There's nudity. Close your eyes, little ones. More nudity, but you know, there's nudity in, I think, right, the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith. So there's that. We have here the mask. So we have that here depicted. The mask. Oh, the sun, the sunflower. Bright and cheery. Ah, judgment. I mean, this is the feather. The feather that is here, right, is here. The feather of truth. Yes. It's glorious. More nudity, but we have the Ouroboros, excuse me. Okay, so now we've got the wand suit. Now we have the wand suit. Let me move the majors over here. Okay. Oh, and I did it properly. I had it right on time here. Okay, so the city, yes. So you see the cityscape here, and there it is in the distance. I love that. It's off in the distance. Here's the map featured in the Two of Wands. Three of Wands. Beautiful Three of Wands. It is the good view. Heck yeah. Look at that. Four of Wands. It is the Huppa. Huppa. Huppa? Ah, Five of Wands. Snarling dog. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Fire element coming through. The Victory Wreath featured in the Six of Wands. Seven of Wands. The Sharpened Spear. Wow. Wow. Intense. Okay. Eight of Wands. The Loosed Arrow. I really am like so tickled because like when I was preparing for doing this flip through and I started separating the suits and getting the majors all together, right? And I was like, oh, I can't wait to work with this tarot deck again. I'm like, I'm gonna bust this baby out in readings for Feel Good Fridays again, and my client readings. This is a reconnection, if you will. And I am so here for it, and I'm so excited. So we have the Chewed Pencils, the Nine of Wands. I remember when Isabella was creating the tarot deck, and the Chewed Pencils was like talked about. My memory, if my memory serves me correctly, from 2019. I think this is when this deck was created. It's not readily here. Oh yeah, 2019. It's on the back of the guidebook of the tarot deck. I recall that being a thing, and I was like, yeah, Nine of Wands, chewed pencils. Who used to chew their pencils? Raise your hand. I did a long, long time ago, until finally a teacher like really got into me and was like, this is not a good habit. You must stop it. So I did. The Weight, 10 of Wands. Okay. The Weight, yes. Such a brilliantly done deck. We have here the Instrument and Page of Wands. Sorry, it's more orange, but the lighting on my camera is not capturing that. I have to turn it kind of to an angle. Ah, the Salamander. And the Salamander is here. You can barely see him. Queen of Wands. The Cat. Very much some like symbolism from the traditional Queen of Wands is the black cat, right? And when I say traditional, I mean like the Rider-Waite-Smith. The Bonfire and the King of Wands. Oh my gosh, the lighting is so ridiculous. All right, so now, I'm right on with this. Okay, now we're getting into the water element, or the cups. So we have the water lilies, of course. Pretty. The Winged Lion. Okay, it's here and here. Different kind of facial or structural facial features in the lion, but still a winged lion nonetheless. The raised cups, 3 of cups, of course. Celebratory energy here. Community, love, and sharing, and good feels. Love that. We have the 4 of cups. What is this? The hot drink. You want it, but do you really? Do you want to touch it? Do you want to grab it? It's hot. Be careful. But you know, so the hot drink. 5 of cups, the spilt cup. Yeah, this is a whole vibe, this deck, both of them. This might help and this might hurt. I even love the title, This Might Help, complimenting This Might Hurt. Yep. The potted plant and 6 of cups. When I lived in an urban environment and I had like a little, you know, patio area, you gotta have some plants. You gotta bring that into the space. And so it's a little, it definitely feels nostalgic, just even for me personally, seeing them, you know, on their balcony and bringing forth plants, and the memories I shared with my own children, us planting things in the smallest space, you know, and growing things together. I love it. Love it. The potted plant. The clouds. Clouds of illusion. Here with the 7 of cups. The broken cup. 8 of cups. The potter's cup. Lovely. 9 of cups. Oh, the nest. Culmination of love and nurturing and the promise of a new beginning. You know, when you created the nest, it's the, you know, end of that part of the journey, and then you got these eggs, you know, bringing forth a new beginning. And 10s represents endings and new beginnings. So 10 of cups and the nest, like, oh, such a beautiful cards. Both beautiful cards. Love the representation of that 10 of cups energy. Oh, the fish with the page of cups. Who remembers getting pet fish and having them in their little bag, and you bring it home, and then of course, like if you're like me, the fish didn't live very long and sad. You go through moments of elation and happiness to sadness within a matter of days, man. I had to let go of the fish dream. I could not keep fish alive, so I was like, nope. No. All right, so now we have the winged helmet, Knight of Cups. The deep water, Queen of Cups. She's got the deep water behind her. The moon. Full moon in the tarot card, crescent moon. And the Oracle. And then the King of Cups, Stormy Sea, which is interesting. But he's managing just fine, isn't he? Oh my goodness. There's the King of Cups. And there is the Stormy Sea. Had to show it separately so the glare wouldn't come through or minimize the glare. Okay, so now we've got this. Oh, that's so good. All right, so now we've got the swords up in here. What do we got? The cold cliffs. Okay. It's kind of a slight deviation from the traditional tarot that she created, but that's okay. You see, the coloring is pretty similar here. Ah, yes, yes, yes. The blindfold, 2 of Swords. Cool. Three of Swords. The pierced heart. The set aside sword. Oh, look at that. That's the set aside sword. Right there in her hand. She's like, oh, it's a single mama. I had a set aside sword too myself. Like, you know, gotta do what you gotta do for protection. So, let's see. The ill-gotten swords. This is 5. Okay. Yeah. The ill-gotten sword. That's an interesting one. I wonder if, let's see, this is the suit of, I turn right to it. A Pyrrhic victory is punishment enough. The ill-gotten swords. As a clarifier, the ill-gotten swords lands where it urges us to seek emotionally healthy ways to deal with our grief, hurt, and anger. What responses will actually help the situation, and what responses only add to the harm. Interesting. Okay. All right. I just read the clarifier portion of the guidebook for time's sake, but yeah, it's good. The following eel, the 6 of Swords, and there's the eel. In the shadow, in the shadow in the window, and 7 of Swords. And I'm not going to be able to show it, I don't think. There is a shadow in this property. I can't even get very close. You can't even see it there. But there is a shadowy figure in the cabin, in the window. And the shadow in the window, that's kind of spooky. The eyes, yeah, the eyes of God are watching. It's the energy I'm getting. Like, no matter what you think you're getting away with, you're not getting away with it. All right, so the restraints goes with the 8 of Swords. Like that. So it's about, because the tarot is balanced, right? You know, there's positive, negative, and neutral type of energies in the tarot built into the 78 cards. So is the case with this oracle deck, right? So it's not all sunshine and butterflies. There is challenges here. We have here the Nightmare, for example, and the 9 of Swords. Yeah. 10 of Swords. Ah, the Sunrise. I love that she decided to take on the other aspect of the traditional meaning of the 10 of Swords. A lot of times we hear about betrayal. We hear, you know, a painful ending. You know, it can't get any worse. But the thing about the 10 of Swords is, and again, I've said this earlier, the 10s are about endings and new beginnings. And the glimpse that we get in the tarot is the sunrise that's typically depicted in the tarot cards, whether it's the traditional tarot or other cards, you know, clones or what have you. They depict the sunrise. look towards the future. It will get better. It can't get any worse. You can pick yourself up from here. You've learned some tough lessons, but guess what? You're moving forward. I've had some painful Ten of Swords experiences in my own personal life. And I remember literally on one particular time, and it will always stay with me, is when my infant son passed away in my arms at the hospital. And my partner and I at the time, we just drove around after we left the hospital. It was like literally like, what else do we do after that? There's not much else to do. And we drove around until the sun rose. And it was like, whoa. Oh, I'm getting emotional. It's like, whoa. The dawning of a new day after such darkness, right? So I really appreciate the sunrise card to accompany the Ten of Swords. All right, the double-edged sword and the Page of Swords. Okay. The bird in flight. Knight of Swords. Bird in flight. The helping hand. Ah, gorgeous. And the Queen of Swords. Let me show you. Here's the helping hand. There's her hand extended, right? Can you see that? And the King of Swords, the wheelchair. I don't know why the phrase, where there's a will, there's a way, that pops in my head for some reason with this one, but it does. It's just sometimes when you're working with the cards, random phrases pop in. Does that happen for you? For me, all the time. And what's cool is there's also the little falcon there. In there. Okay, one more suit. Thanks for hanging in there with me, friends. Okay. The Garden. The Ace of Pentacles. Show you independently. Oh, it doesn't like that. Oh well. Trust that there's a garden scene there. The bobbing boats, and that's interesting. So you have the Two of Pentacles and you have the boats back there, right? And then you have here the bobbing boats depicted here. Oh God, the glare is just obscene. Okay. The Hammer and Chisel. There's more green when I take away this other card. But they have a hammer and chisel here. Four of Pentacles. The coins. With some daisies. No daisies depicted here, but that's okay. Five, oh, look at that. The Winter Storm. Five of Pentacles. Yes. Look at that. I really like that card. The Winter Storm. Six of Pence. The Scales. So, that makes sense from the Justice card. Remember the Justice card had the battered sword? And this one, and I was like, well, why didn't Isabella choose to have the scales from the Justice? Well, because it made more sense to have the scales in this card. I'm trying to get Anyways, Six of Pentacles. Scale. The fruits of labor. That makes sense. The uncarved pentacle. That's cool. The potential, right? Of what it can be. So there's the uncarved, and there's some of the uncarved pentacles. The rest are kind of hanging out out here that are already carved. The hooded falcon, yeah. And that's here in this gorgeous Nine of Pence. Hooded falcon. Yeah. The paper lanterns. These are paper lanterns. Over the family, over the Ten of Pence. Oh, it's like bright. Okay. The Page of Pentacles, the flowering field. So the flowering field is back there behind the character here. I forgot how much I love this deck. And I can't believe I just been letting it sit. I think what was happening was that the gilding that I love so much on this deck was starting to chip away. And I was like, oh, you know, you start collecting other decks. And you're like, oh, I'll just let this one sit. And then I told myself I'm going to get the mass market, so then I'll use that instead. But no, I didn't, because then I'm like, no, you don't need multiple decks of the same deck, blah, blah, blah. So then I was like, okay. Then when this was coming out, the Oracle deck, I was like, okay, I'm going to reconnect with the This Might Hurt Tarot. The edition that I have, I don't know, it's Fertile Earth. Can't get without the glare. There we go. That's beautiful. So I decided, let me get this deck, and I'm so inspired to work with it. We have the Jackalope and the Queen of Pentacles. There's the Jackalope there. And lastly, the King of Pence and the grapes. He's drinking wine. There's grapes here. Let me show you. There's grapes here and here. And and he's drinking wine, of course. So he's got his grapes going on. And then we have the grapes, the abundance. Yeah. So, yeah, that is, let's see, this is what I mean by the gilding. I started to bang it up a bit. Cards are still gorgeous, still good quality, right? Still good quality. But I got a little nervous about it. And so now that I know that there's a mass market, I can just go crazy and utilize this one, the first edition, knowing I can replace it at some point. But yeah. And now we have here the This Might Help Oracle with this gorgeous backs. Let's see. And thank you all for hanging in there with me while I go through all the cards. Let's see. Oh, it riffle shuffles beautifully. Yeah, because I wanted to do it alongside. I knew once I got this deck, I wanted to do it alongside the This Might Hurt Tarot to see where the symbolism comes from, where the inspiration comes from for the Oracle deck. We have here the Deep Water. I'll look at the guidebook in a moment. The only thing I would say, it would be nice if, this is the Star. It would be nice if the minors were numbered on the cards. But it's not, it's alphabetical, which I don't know yet if it is. And I know it's divided by suits, the guidebook. That'll be helpful. But sometimes, you know, it's just nice to have a quick reference to go to with the number on the card. But that's a minor little quibble about the deck. Bird in flight. Okay. Let's look at the guidebook for a moment. Let's see what it's due. From the This Might Hurt. So we've got the water element. Let's see how easy or difficult it is. We have the suit of water. So we're going to go there. Just page 65. Okay. What's cool is it has a little message opening up the suit of water. You know, so you've got that Ace of Cups. You know, this is actually an introduction to the suit right here. Okay. And so then we've got the deep water. That's the Queen of Cups. The collective unconscious, a concept introduced by psychologist Carl Jung, described a pool of shared mental concepts, including archetypes, narratives, symbols, and inclinations that exist within the unconscious minds of all individuals. Jung believed that this explained patterns of similar narratives, themes, and characters that arise in the myths and religions of separate cultures. In Tarot, the collective unconscious is represented as deep water, the pool of knowledge behind the high priestess, the primordial waters beneath the moon, and the well of inspiration in which the star bathes. In what ways are you comparing aspects of your own life to the archetypal ideal of what you think they should be? What role are you trying to play? And what's cool is that the deep water card for the Queen of Cups comes with a sub, you know, it's got the deep water meaning, but it says the collective unconscious here, a little sub keyword. It says, as a clarifier, the deep water reminds us to understand and be aware of cultural, or according to Jung, universal ideas of how stories go and how certain types of people should be. If you are acting out a part, take a moment to analyze why. That's an interesting take, right? All right, so now we go to the star, which is a little easier because it's numbered. Got the star. And once you get familiar with the deck, it will be no problem. Like now I'll know. I'll associate, okay, this is the Queen of Cups. Or you know what I mean. So it'll be easier. So the abysses, make art about it. Abysses stands in the star's pool, a spring of inspiration and deep understanding. These birds are symbols of the Egyptian god Thoth, considered the inventor of all arts. Creativity is the human way of channeling what is going on in our unconscious minds. Human beings have a deep desire to communicate what we know and feel on a deeper level, but such things resist description. So what do? We make art, we write poetry, we create music, we strum our guitars, and we paint, and we draw, and we weave tapestries, and we ask over and over again, do you see it? Do you see me? This abysses urge you to create. It is time to access that deep pool of understanding and see how it is translated by your own creativity. As a clarifier, the abysses suggests that the card that they land on, because remember you can have it like land like this and have it on top. That's why it's shorter and smaller, which I like. So as a clarifier, it's designed to be smaller, and I just like it because it's handier. But it says, as a clarifier, the abysses suggest that the card they land on is informed by or would benefit from the process of investigating internal indescribable truths through creativity. Wow. Okay. All right. And then the bird in flight. This is air. Suit of air. So then I'm going to go, I can't remember. Let's go back to the table of contents. That would be page 80. Okay, so the sub keyword, key phrase is thought free from bias. So this is the Knight of Swords. And I'm just going to see what stands out here. Okay, I'm just going to read this part, certain parts. The second paragraph of the guidebook, it says, most people believe their decision making is rational, but in reality, cognitive biases continually affect our beliefs and distort our judgment. Human beings have a tendency toward confirmation bias, paying attention to information that supports our pre-existing beliefs, values, and desired outcomes while rejecting information that contradicts them. The bird in flight symbolizes a nearly impossible goal, a truly open mind that takes things as they are. I love that. Love, 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 love this card and its message. It says, as a clarifier, the bird in flight lands on a card to encourage you to see the facts for what they are. Is your perception being distorted by what you want to see or already believe? Wow. Wow. So there you have it, folks. There you have it. Like, this is such a handy deck. I love the card stock. Like, it's not too thick. It's not too thin. I like the feel of it. It's not glossy. It's just the perfect little size to fit in your hand, especially for 78 cards. Card backs are beautiful. I'll be sure, like I said, at the end of the video, I'll have pictures of, the guidebook up close, the card backs, so you can see that. But the box is a winner. Thank you, Sterling Ethos, for your improvements on the box. On the card stock, you listened to our pleas. Because some of us are not feeling that thick card stock. I'm sorry. We weren't. I wasn't. Okay, I'll speak for me. So yeah, it really shuffles nicely. Overhand shuffles beautifully. Look at that. That's the High Priestess card. The veil. Just a delightful deck to shuffle. So let me know what your thoughts are about this little deck. Do you have it? Are you planning on getting it? How do you plan to work with it once you get it? Do you have the This Might Hurt Tarot, whether it's the first edition, indie edition, or the mass market? And do you plan to pair it with the This Might Help Oracle? And do you plan to use this as a standalone deck or a clarifier for other decks? I want to hear from you in the comments section, please. I want to hear your thoughts. I really like it. I really do. Yeah, there's the Ram. Emperor. Okay, Empress. I'll really shuffle that baby. Okay. Yeah, it's really special. I'm so happy I got this one. I have to say. Every now and then a mass market comes through and it just feels right, right? You know what I'm saying? All right. There you have it, folks. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please do me a favor on your way out. Please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to me. Hype the video if you can. And don't forget to leave a comment because I like to chit chat with you all out down there. All right, friends. Take care. Bye for now.